what do you think Shazam would do or say if he had Wonder Woman in front of him?
I love you. I love you, Wonder Woman. That's what I do. I don't even know if he would say it. He'd be just like catatonic. He would just be like, what do I do? What do I say? I don't know what to say. Oh, not looking her in the eye. Oh, she's too pretty. Shazam.
Are you for real?
Say okay.
Say my name.
What are the challenges on playing a superhero that's a kid in the body of an adult?
Well, other than the obvious ones, which are I am not an actual child.
Really?
Although I know, right? Like I kind of am. I think that's how I got the job. No, I definitely have a bit of a man-childness about me, and that lent itself well to being able to portray a 14-year-old. And a total dream come true, because like the movie Big with Tom Hanks in the 80s was always one of my favorites. I always wanted to do something like that. Then I got to do it, and I got to do it with superpowers, so like that's crazy. I don't know, I think maybe the most difficult thing was like, the suit can be a little, tight and difficult to go to the bathroom in. Toronto was very cold to shoot in. But I just tried to enjoy it the most I could, because I really did believe that it was gonna be the enjoyment that was gonna sell the authenticity of it being a kid with superpowers the most. Because adults have the responsibilities, and they don't think it's as cool that Superman's not sitting around going, oh my God, I have X-ray vision. He's not stoked about that. He's like, oh God, I'm constantly looking at things I don't want to look at. Billy's just super stoked about it, so I just try to lean into that. Hopefully that works.
Your phone's charged, your phone's charged.
What the hell?
How do you think this movie can help build up representation for foster kids like Billy Batson?
Oh, I think it hopefully will do a lot of good for foster kids. I mean, I don't know what it's like in Brazil, but in the United States, there's about 450,000 kids that are in the foster system right now. And thank God for all of those foster parents and families that are taking them in and giving them a home, at least temporarily. And as far as I know, I'm not privy to a movie that's really tackled that as much as we do, and certainly not a superhero movie that's done that. Not to mention the racial diversity within the cast and the family, and the fact that Freddie is handicapped. All of that, I think, is a really beautiful opportunity for us to represent a lot of underrepresented people.
Is she even good at keeping secrets?
Moderate.
No.
The movie has a lot of references to other superheroes, but I'd like to know, what do you think Shazam would do or say if he had Wonder Woman in front of him?
Love you.
I love you. I love you, Wonder Woman. That's what I do. I don't even know if he would say it. He'd be just like catatonic. He would just be like, what do I do? What do I say? I don't know what to say. Oh, not looking her in the eye. Oh, she's too pretty.
Oh my God.
Because of the name, people are trying to build comparisons between Shazam and Capitã Marvel. How do you feel about that? Is it bothering?
No, it doesn't bother me. I mean, first of all, it's totally makes sense. Shazam's name used to be Captain Marvel way back in 1939, and really actually all the way up until very, very recently, because even though DC couldn't sell a comic book that said Captain Marvel on it, I was still called Captain Marvel inside the comic. So yeah, I can understand a lot of fans being a little confused or salty about that, but I think it's important for all of us to remember that there's enough room for everybody. I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, I'm looking forward to seeing it, but I know that there are very, very different movies. And I think that I think there's actually kind of a fun irony that we're both gonna be in theaters at the same time. After all of these years, that this is the time that it all happened. There's something, I don't see that as a negative or a competitive thing. I actually see it as something that makes it all the more special and kind of magical. And how did that all work out? Okay, what's behind that? What can we do with that? I'm interested to see how we're going to continue to tackle what I ultimately call myself, or what Billy calls himself, because I can't introduce myself as Shazam, otherwise I'll just keep changing back and forth. Hi, I'm Shazam. Hi, I'm Shazam. I do like Captain Sparkle Fingers. I think that's a fun one. I'd like to use that one a lot.
It's Captain Sparkle Fingers.
No, it's not. That's not my name.